Yo, this is Preston. You are tuned into the Undisputed Champ Sports Podcast. I'm joined here with Carmine and Tommy. We're doing a review of NXT and 205 Live. Say what's up to the people.
What's up, everybody? Thumbs up, Tommy. You already know I am the aficionado for 205 Live and NXT since Preston barely watches 205 to begin with.
Yeah. Alright, so what we doing?
Alright, so 205 started off with a recap of the feud between Gulak and Alexander, which, yeah, don't really care about that. TJP versus Lindsay Dorado was a pretty decent match. Can't lie. Lindsay and TJP did a pretty medium-paced match. TJP focused mainly on grounding him, with a lot of submissions versus Lindsay's high-flying style. Not much here worth noting as a spot highlight. What's it called? But then the match ends when TJP rolls up Lindsay after removing his mask.
All right.
Yeah, because the whole mysticism of a luchador's mask. You're not supposed to take that off. So as soon as he took that off, he started covering his face, so people didn't see what his face is, and he got rolled up for the win. And he was teasing him after the match, by using that matraca shit that Lucha House Party comes out with, and he runs off with Lindsay chasing after him. What's it called after that? Leo Rush basically getting out of facing Noam Dar, saying that he can't juggle managing Lashley and being on 205 Live. Drake Maverick tells him that he's going to have to learn how to do both and face Noam next week, because if he doesn't, there's going to be consequences.
Boo.
Yeah. Mustafa Ali talks to, Drake Maverick. And he's assuring him that he's good to go on facing Hideo Itami because, apparently their feud is still going. And Maverick makes it sound like he's going to deny Ali's request, only to confirm that he has the match and that he's been cleared and good to go. Match is promoted for next week. Noam Dar versus Leo Rush. Hideo Itami versus Mustafa Ali. And then this match was pretty decent. Cedric Alexander versus Drew Gulak for the Cruiserweight Championship.
Yep,
not too fast or not too slow, but it was a very hard-hitting match.
Definitely was.
Definitely. Like Gulak, he hits the Gulak early after a distraction from Kendrick. And what's it called? Cedric got to the ropes real quick. Shade was actually thrown at Baron Corbin by Nigel McGuinness because, what's his name? Like, they were saying how Gulak basically weaseled his way into a title match, and Nigel defended him, saying that it's not the same as him giving himself a title shot like Corbin did. Kendrick interfered again, and he ended up getting himself and Gallagher ejected from ringside. There's a few spot highlights here that I picked out. Alexander goes for a vertical suplex near the ropes, and then Gulak flips over the ropes with Cedric still holding him, and they both land on their feet, only for Cedric to deliver the suplex on ringside. That was crazy.
That was really crazy.
That was insane. They had at one point when Gulak rolls out of the ring after getting hit with that neuralizer kick that Cedric does, thinking he was safe, only for Cedric to flip outside on top of him.
Mm-hmm.
And Gulak actually he goes against his own philosophy, and he does a flying clothesline off the top rope. If you follow anything about Drew Gulak, you know how against his philosophy that is.
Mm-hmm.
And the last spot highlight here, I saw Cedric breaks out of the Gulak by lifting him on his shoulders, similar to a fireman's carry, and he rammed them into the turnbuckles.
Wow.
And he finally hits a lumbar check for the win, which Buddy Murphy has a backstage interview with Mabu again. You know, I'm glad they're giving Mabu a lot of TV time now. Yeah, he gives props to Cedric for his undefeated streak, and he says that Cedric is the champ, but people tune in to 205 Live to watch him steal the show, and it'll be the same thing at Super Showdown when he wins the title. Which is true, because honestly, like, as much as I would like for it to happen, because I feel like Buddy Murphy deserves it, I don't know, because WWE does have that thing where usually you lose in your hometown.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking too.
But I think it would be a nice touch if they had let Murphy have it.
Yeah, and it might be a little too soon.
Plus, he's arguably the best one there.
He is. I think WWE think that it's probably too soon right now. They probably still want to keep the feud going. So
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
So now let's get to the black and yellow brand, NXT. Pretty decent show this week, actually. They started off with a recap of Ricochet and Pete Dunne.
Mm-hmm.
You know what happened between them. Then we had a pretty decent tag team match. Dakota Kai and Deonna Purrazzo versus Aaliyah and Lacey Evans. Deonna Purrazzo could get it too. She hot. It was an okay match. Deonna and Lacey started off the match. Deonna took most of the beat down for her team. She finally got the hot tag on Dakota, and then Aaliyah toward the end gets a blind tag to Lacey while Dakota rolls her up. Lacey hits Dakota with that women's right, and then she pins her for the win.
Yeah, it was a pretty decent match. It wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, it wasn't bad at all. Like, the psychology was there. It was pretty good. After that, they had an interview with Velveteen Dream.
Oh yeah,
and then. Yeah, I love how, like, they asked him about how he carried over the momentum from TakeOver Brooklyn in his career in the last month, and he refers to how he's carried that momentum after beating Johnny Failure, as he calls Johnny Gargano.
Mm-hmm.
And then here, Patrick comes out because they ask him about who attacked Aleister Black, to which he replied by walking off upset after saying, he's like, to the interviewers that they get the chance to interview, that they need to get a clue because they had the opportunity to interview the Dream, but they ask him questions about somebody else.
And then walk away.
Yep, and that wasn't even the Dream at that point. That was Patrick.
That was Patrick right there. When he started getting sassy,
that was Patrick.
Back to the locker room. That's Patrick.
When he gets mad like that, that's Patrick.
That's definitely Patrick. He was mad.
He was pissed. He was tight. And we had a Street Profits promo.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that was funny. Is that a Snapchat video?
Yeah, it was funny as hell because they were talking about, like somebody asked them, why were they so worried about chains in their last match? And then Montez Ford goes on this whole spiel about how the chains are symbols of their struggle and that they can't be stopped.
Mm-hmm.
There was a backstage interview from last week with Carmine's boo, Bianca Belair, and she's talking about how Nikki Cross is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, but it doesn't matter because she'll always show out as she's undefeated.
Which is facts.
Yeah, Bianca Belair is great. I'm loving she's improving exponentially. I'm seeing a lot of growth in her.
Yeah, she's really great. I can't wait to see what she'll do in the future and in the main roster.
Yes, facts. Then we had Humberto Carrillo, a jobber, versus Jackson Riker, which is the in-ring singles NXT debut for Riker. It was a complete squash match where Riker wins with a slingshot powerbomb. There's nothing worth notating. We had the Aleister Black investigation continuing, and they had Candice LeRae assuring that she didn't see anything, and she was like, she lists cowardly attack, disregard for authority, and attempt to ruin someone's life as things that should remind Regal of Ciampa.
Regal, just call the police, bro. Jesus.
For real, like, why are you doing this yourself? Anyway.
I know it's not been 8 weeks, but Jesus Christ. You ain't figured it out in 3 weeks. You're not going to find out.
So then, like, Rigo actually asked her about Johnny's whereabouts for that. You know, she's like, I'll have to ask you.
Yeah.
And she tells this tale about how they've been keeping their personal and professional lives separate as of late. That night after they announced the triple threat, Johnny went to the locker room to clean up, asking her to sit tight while he was done, and they drove home together. But to be honest, that whole thing sounded suspect. Like, I think that they're trying to get to where Gargano was the one that attacked Black.
Yeah, I think that's what it's the whole Rikishi thing.
As much as I don't want it, because Johnny Gargano should never be booed, but I think that that's the way that they're going.
Yeah, they're slowly going to turn him heel.
Which is stupid.
Yeah, which is really dumb.
And they had a recap of Ricochet versus Pete Dunne again. Keith Lee promo. Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to seeing more of him in the ring. I really am. And they had a recap of EC3 accusing Lars Sullivan of attacking Aleister Black and being beat down. And they had a couple of promos there. Lars Sullivan's in-ring return is going to be next week. And then Otis Dozovic versus Tommaso Ciampa next week.
Uh-huh.
And this is the crown jewel of NXT this week. Ricochet versus Pete Dunne in a champion versus champion match.
What an amazing match. And first of all, Peter, I don't know why you want his championship when you got the beautiful UK championship, but this match was amazing in my personal opinion. I loved it. I don't know why they didn't save this for NXT TakeOver. I think I understand why, but this was the caliber match.
This is a TakeOver caliber match.
Main event, easy. Easy. TakeOver match because it was so cool.
It was intense and it was hard hitting. There was lots of chain wrestling. My God. So, like, this match was pretty much, at least in my eyes, it was perfect.
Yeah,
they had, Pete, resorts to his usual joint manipulation tactics from the get-go early on. And then Ricochet matches Dunne with a more grounded style early on, but then he switches to his high-flying usual output. And I love how the crowd was divided evenly between chanting for both of them.
Mm-hmm. Said Bruiserweight,
and there was
the one and only. Bruiserweight, the one and only.
Yeah, there was so many spots in this match. Oh my God!
I like the fact that Pete Dunne, he just kept he tried to keep Ricochet grounded and like flat on the ground. He was trying to tear his joints up, and like it's kind of like trying to clip the wings off an eagle or something like that because we all know Ricochet's high flying. And man, the psychology of this match was perfect. I loved it.
Yeah, I loved when Ricochet, like, he blocks the X-Plex by landing on his feet, and he follows up with a standing shooting star press. That was insane.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was really crazy.
Oh my God! And then I loved, like, at one point there was a rolling drop kick that Ricochet was trying to do, and then Dunne sidestepped him. And he jumped up and caught him in a flying armbar, and he also manipulated his fingers there while applying the hold.
Yeah,
man, crazy.
It was one point I forgot. Did he try to drop kick him that time? And then Pete Dunne had his legs in his hand and pretty much kicked his chest.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Oh man, that was crazy.
And they also had the spot where Dunne, he catches Ricochet with a stiff ass forearm, and then he was like when he tries to do a springboard flying clothesline, but then after that he hits the X-Plex.
Mhm.
I'm just going through like all of these like spots that I noted because there was a lot of them in this match. So he goes for the bitter end, and Ricochet counters, and Dunne counters his suplex attempt. Ricochet kicks Dunne while he's charging at him. He falls outside, fakes going for a flip to the outside, which is funny to me.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Wait, didn't he at one point do that tranquilo shit that Almas does?
He did.
Yeah, that was dope for me. I like that. After that, you hear Ricochet dodging Dunne's attack while on the apron, climbs the ropes and goes for a backflip. Dunne dodges, catches him with another stiff forearm, and he hits the X-Plex on the apron. I love when Dunne does that.
Yeah, man, like you're saying,
That
like it's
yeah,
some crazy
that thing is
spots in
just
here,
brutal.
man.
That Xplex, I love it.
Yeah, and
It's like
just
it's like a flipping suplex, man.
it's like a flipping suplex, and then just the the thing about this match is these are two very unique wrestlers that are very involved in their style, and Pete Dunne obviously has a very unique style of where he goes after the joints and your hands. He's obsessed with hands and stuff like that, but there's a good reason for that. And to have him face someone who's high flying and quick, and having Pete Dunne trying to slow
Hmm.
him down while Ricochet is trying to find ways to get. It kind of remind me of, and I'm gonna cut this short. It kind of remind me of that time when Cedric Alexander went against TJP on 205 Live, and every time Cedric Alexander
Yeah,
tried to use power moves on him, TJP would find a way to reverse it into some type of stretch, and then Cedric had to kind of figure out like how can I hit this guy without him reversing it into something else. And I felt like Pete Dunne was doing that to Ricochet in this match. He just kept reversing
facts,
everything,
facts.
and I was like, that was so dope, man, so dope.
Like I love wrestling like that because it's just like it really forces you to pay attention. Like like
Yeah.
you don't know what to expect.
And you're like, how are they gonna figure this out? How's he gonna? Yeah, it's like it's crazy.
Yeah. So after that, Dunn goes for the bitter end yet again,
Uh huh.
but Ricochet reverses and hits a reverse Hurricane Rana on him.
Mhm.
After an exchange of blows on the top turnbuckle, Ricochet hits a springboard Hurricane Rana off the top rope. That was insane.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
Yeah, for real. And the last spot I have highlighted here shows when Dunn counters a springboard 450 into a triangle choke, which Ricochet power bombs out of, only to get caught in a Kimura lock after Dunn is seen holding on to his fingers after the power bomb.
That was crazy. That was a
Yeah,
crazy
because you know
spot, man.
he likes doing that joint manipulation a lot, so he had to hold on to his fingers. And then the finish ended up being that Undisputed Era attacks them to make it a no contest, and War Raiders chase them off.
Yeah, we kind of figured this would happen because
Uh-huh.
yeah, we all I mean, I think you were the first one to say it, and I think it was pretty obvious that you can't have either one of these champions lose because it's gonna make the championship belt look weaker. And this was like the first time I was actually irritated with the Undisputed Era. I was like, "What are you?
Uh-huh.
Why are you in it? Let this match go for an hour, man, because this match was just like perfect,
Uh-huh.
like in every point." But yeah, great match.
Bro, like I wanted it to keep going, but at the same time, it's like you already know, dude. They have to save something for the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I know, and whatever they do in the pay per view, it gotta top what happened today. And I know it's really a lot to ask for, but I hope it just at least get close. Because this match was just perfect.
Absolutely. Man, I cannot wait to see because I think, yeah, basically 'cause the week before, Adam Cole had said something along the lines of that it doesn't matter who won the match if it was that Dunn got the U.S. title or the other way around. Cole was gonna still go after whichever one.
Yeah. I remember.
That I liked it. It was pretty cool. Which I'm looking forward to seeing more of Snoop Dogg, Eminem, and all this other like puppets or whatever in funny videos.
Yeah, we know he's going after. We all know he's gonna go after Ricochet. He's not gonna go after Pete
Yeah, he's not. We know it because he still has that feud. You know, like he still has that sour taste of in his mouth of having lost to Ricochet.
Yeah, and Ricochet, and Ricochet can lose it to Cole. And I'm not saying he's gonna lose it like anytime soon, but since NXT is moving to UK, they're gonna let Pete Dunne keep that title and keep it over there on that side. So there's no reason.
Yeah,
For him
he's not gonna lose that title until it's to someone like Zach Gibson.
yeah, somebody like that. I want that belt.
He's really not. Dude, that thing is gonna be crazy. I can't wait for him.
It's getting good, man.
And NXT, yeah, NXT UK, and they got Tony Storm over there, man.
Got Tony Storm over there. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy, man. It's gonna be
Bruh. Facts. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up NXT.
pretty much wraps up NXT. Yeah, I will say that Ricochet match is probably one of my favorite matches of the year so far. Like, to be honest,
Facts.
if they would have let it go longer, it probably would be V. But you know, I get it. dang, why did they do it on the 2? Why did they do it on the NXT though? Like, oh man.
Well, because I mean, let's be real. I think that what they're gonna end up doing is
Mm-hmm.
they're probably gonna have a three-way between those two and Cole at the next takeover, and that if one of them loses, that one loses their title.
Oh, okay.
That's probably it.
And that's definitely gonna be Ricochet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, makes sense. Makes sense.
Facts.
Hey, I'm not mad at that match at all. That's gonna be an amazing match.
Facts. And I'm just waiting for it to happen.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that is our review of 205 and NXT for the week.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And this has been Thumbs Up Tommy and Drunk Preston over here.
Drunk press. Wait, okay. Let me ask you this: in your opinion, what so far? And I know this year's not over. What was your favorite 205 Live match of the year so far?
Favorite 205 Live match of the year?
Just so far, excluding pay-per-views, just the regular show.
Honestly, I would have to say Mustafa Ali and Buddy Murphy, no DQ.
That match was great. Oh man. Oh, I don't even know I asked you that question because it's so tough. But that one, yeah, I will have to agree with you on that one because that one's good.
At close second, I would say the one from recently, Buddy Murphy versus Kalisto.
I was gonna say that. That one was a close second to me too.
That one's a close second.
Yeah, and all the rest of them are. Yeah,
But either way, like it's still a win for Buddy Murphy because he's in both of them.
he's in both of the matches. Yeah, those are amazing matches. Amazing matches.
Bro, this man is just on another level.
Yeah, and I like I said that TJP versus Cedric Alexander. It's not my top one, but I just liked how TJP looked in that match. He just looked really.
Oh no, yeah, like there's been solid matches with other guys. You know, like TJP has been pretty good this year. It's just like Buddy Murphy's in a whole nother league.
Yeah, Buddy Murphy. Yeah, he's out of here, man. It's crazy how talented he is.
He's just like honestly, if you could compare Buddy Murphy to someone on the main roster, who would you compare him to?
Oh, I don't know, man. Because I feel like
I mean, like you know, like definitely 205 is still part of the main roster, but you know, like the way that they're doing it now, that they're treating it like it's just something completely separate. You know, like keeping that going. Like, who would you compare Buddy Murphy to?
Buddy Murphy. I don't know, man. I personally, for me, this is just me. I feel like he's like kind of like in a lane in his own. He's kind of like a mixture of a few people, but I don't know who really to compare him to. He's just crazy talented, in my opinion. Like,
I would say he's like the Seth Rollins of 205.
Okay, I can definitely see that. And it's crazy to believe that he's like around 205 at all because he's so freaking jacked. It's like it looks ridiculous.
And that's why they call him the Juggernaut, because he's like so much bigger than most of the guys on 205.
I know, it's crazy. Like he's shredded, like ridiculously shredded.
He's jacked and he's shredded.
It's crazy, man. It's so crazy. But Buddy Murphy's crazy talented. I'm wondering, like, because remember they're moving it to Wednesdays, right? So are they taking 205
They already
to
did.
Full Sail? So are they taking it to Full Sail, or is that just?
I don't know. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I think they're still doing it, you know, right after SmackDown, and then they're just airing it on Wednesdays.
Because there's some people like saying rumors that 205 might not be doing good as far as views, revenue, and stuff like that, which is why they can't have enough to pay wrestlers, and they're doing this management thing with Raw, with Leo Rush and stuff. So I don't know how true that stuff is, but
I don't know. To me, I think that the whole thing about Rush being, you know, on what's it called, Raw and Maverick doing the same thing, it might be a way to try and get the cruiserweights back on Raw. Which, honestly, if they had done 205 Live right from the get-go, they wouldn't have had to have been taken off of Raw.
Yeah, I agree. It was just, I wish they would just let them be able to wrestle with the people on Raw, like instead of like changing.
Yeah, because they're just like, it's like they're basically treating them like a sideshow.
Yeah, because you can get interesting tag matches, even if like not job 205 people out, but if you want to have a really good match, get 2 people from 205 Live and put them in a tag match with somebody, and you'll get good matches. Easy.
Or someone like I said, like Seth Rollins versus Buddy Murphy.
Exactly.
That would be an amazing match.
Exactly, that'll be an amazing match right there. There's so many choices.
Bro, that would be insane. Or even Seth Rollins versus Cedric Alexander.
I would like to see that too. That would be
that would be an insane match. Insane.
And if they were able to do cross promotion, like even if they were able to, like I know SmackDown's not part of 205 Live and Raw, but if they were to do this during a pay per view, I would like to see New Day go against Lucha House Party.
That would be crazy.
That would be a crazy match, right?
That would be very good.
But yeah,
facts.
But yeah, that goes for our NXT 205 talks, reviews, whatever you want to call it. But
yep.
All right, well, that's pretty much it. Thank y'all for listening.
And happy Rusev Day.
Happy Rusev Day for some of us, not you, Aiden. It's over for you. But happy Rusev Day to the rest of you guys.
All right, peace.
All right, peace.
You stop recording?
Yep.